Hola, clase, and welcome to NTI Day 1 of Spanish 1. I'm your teacher, Mr. Hildebrand. Before we get started with today's activities, let's just go over the class information sheet together. When we get back in class, you're expected to, of course, sit down with your supplies and get to work on your bell work. Stay there unless I give you permission to get up. Participate in all your activities. Pay attention. Be respectful. Leave the electronic distractions out. Behave appropriately and bring something quiet to do, like read a book when you get finished. You can see the consequences for not doing so: writing assignments, detention, parental contact, office referrals, things to bring to class with you, writing utensils, paper, notebook, a dictionary, colored pencils and markers, and possibly we'll have you bring in some tissues for extra credit. Topics to be covered in Spanish 1 include greetings, goodbye phrases, personal information, and family. Chapter 2, school, classes, descriptions of classes and teachers, saying whether or not you like them and why, the times you have classes and places as well. Chapter 3 will be talking about what you do in your free time. And Chapter 4 will be talking about shopping, clothing, food, drinks, and colors. Studying for Spanish class is very important. That's why I don't give you a lot of written homework. If you need help, make sure you contact me. If there's a quiz that you mess up on, you'll have a chance to retake that. Now on to the more pertinent information for right now, NTI information. We highly encourage you to set a daily schedule for your classes and stick to it, like 50 minutes per class starting at 8 or 9 o'clock. Complete your assignments and participate in classroom meetings when they're scheduled. I strongly suggest and encourage you to get your assignments finished the day that you receive them or the day that they're due. Zoom meetings for Spanish 1 will be 9 to 9:30 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless I tell you otherwise. You can check Google Classroom if you can for more information about that. I will be posting the videos for the lessons in Google Classroom. They'll be linked to YouTube videos. Chances are, at least at the beginning, that we're going to be doing all of our assignments on paper, so you should receive those delivered to your house. If you have any questions, you can contact me, and I'll get more information about that a little bit later. Mastery grades will be used for your assignments, at least at the beginning of the year. If you get a 70 through 100 on an assignment, it'll be considered mastered, and you'll get a 2 out of 2 for your grade. If you get a 40 to a 65% on an assignment or part of an assignment, then you'll get partial mastery, which is a 1 out of 2. And if you get a below a 40%, then you'll get a 0 out of, and that should say 0 out of 2 for that grade, not 0 out of 1. It's very possible that if you end up being late on turning in assignments, that the school will require you to come in and meet with me in person to catch up on your work. You may contact me during school hours from 8 to 3. There's my email address. Just don't forget the 2 after my last name, and make sure you spell my last name correctly. dan.hildebrand2@robertson.kyschools.us. You can also call me during those hours or text at 702-626-0317. That is a Las Vegas number, so if you see a number from Las Vegas, it's probably me, and I usually will send a text message before I call to let you know that I'm the one trying to contact you or your parents. Video lessons, as I mentioned, will be available on YouTube for you to view. Those will be linked to Google Classroom, and you'll find those there, the links to get to those videos. You won't be able to search for them, most likely. We'll see. Those without internet access can request a flash drive from the school, and that will have all of your lesson videos for the week on it. And down there at the bottom, you will see my Google Classroom class code. It's ASUWOUV, and it's all lowercase. I would appreciate if you cut off this bottom portion right here and return that to me with your first week's assignments filled out. Here is a glimpse of tonight's assignment. All you need to do for your first day's assignment is match these 10 phrases, some are questions, some are statements, to the best description of each. And to help you, you will have the video and we'll go over the words right here. So let's get started with asking people's names. Como se llama tu means what is your blank's name. For example, como se llama tu hermano? What is your brother's name? Como se llama tu hermano? If you're being formal and asking me, you could also say como se llama su, and that also means what is your blank's name. For example, if you wanted to ask me about my wife's name, you could say como se llama su esposa? Como se llama su esposa? What is your wife's name? If you want to ask about someone else's family members, como se llama el or la blank de blank? What is blank's name? Como se llama el blank de blank? For example, como se llama el hermano de Will? What is Will's brother's name? Como se llama el hermano de Will? Se llama is how to say his or her name is. Se llama. For example, se llama Joel. His name is Joel. Se llama Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer. Se llama Kevin. His name is Kevin. So there's answers to the two questions. The first one was como se llama su esposa? Se llama Jennifer. What is your wife's name? Her name is Jennifer. Then como se llama el hermano de Will? You have two choices. You could use Joel. Se llama Joel. Or Kevin is his older brother. Se llama Kevin. If you want to ask about a group, como se llaman tus or sus? For example, your siblings or your parents. Here's an example here, if I can find one, and then use se llaman to mean their names are. Let's see if I gave you an example. There's one down here. Como se llaman sus padres? Como se llaman sus padres? What are your parents' names? Se llaman Danny y Susan. Se llaman Danny y Susan. Yes, those people's names are Danny and Susan, but they're not the ones that are my parents, just in case you're confused. ¿Cómo se llaman los padres de Carly? ¿Cómo se llaman los padres de Carly? What are Carly's parents' names? Made famous by the TV show iCarly. Se llaman Sarah and Chris. Se llaman, with an N, se llaman Sarah y Chris. Their names are Sarah and Chris. So there's part one of today's assignment that you can use to review. Part two is introducing yourself and others. So let's get started. Me llamo is how to say my name is. Me llamo el señor Hildebrand. Mi nombre es is another option. Mi nombre es, my name is. Soy, I am. So there's three different ways you can introduce yourself. Me llamo, mi nombre es, and soy. To talk about somebody else, you could say mi amigo or mi amiga se llama, for my friend's name is. If your friend is a boy, mi amigo se llama. If your friend is a girl, mi amiga se llama. Este or esta es means this is. So there's another way to introduce someone. Este or esta es, this is. Te, le, or les, presento a means may I introduce. Te presento a mi amigo Bob, for example, may I introduce you to my friend Bob. Mis amigos or mis amigas se llaman, and then their name also works to say my friends' names are. For example, mis amigos se llaman Carlos y Roberto. And finally, to ask permission to go somewhere. We're going to use this phrase, me permite ir. For example, me permite ir al baño. May I go to the bathroom? Me permite ir al baño. Me permite ir a mi armario. Me permite ir a mi armario. May I go to my locker? Me permite ir a la oficina. Me permite ir a la oficina. May I go to the office? Me permite ir a la enfermera. Me permite ir a la enfermera means may I go to the nurse. And if you put an I there, it means me permite ir a la enfermería. That means may I go to the nurse's office. Either one works. Me permite ir por agua means may I go get some water. Me permite ir por agua. Me permite ir por un Kleenex. Me permite ir por un Kleenex. Can I go get a tissue? And me permite ir al cesto means may I go to the trash can. Me permite ir al cesto. Me permite ir al sacapuntas means may I go to the pencil sharpener. Me permite ir al sacapuntas. That is the end for today's videos you'll need for your lesson. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any questions, need any help, feel free to contact me. Hasta luego.